What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys with an Archetype video, or the Harpies. But this time, it's the Rush Duel variant of the Harpies. The Harpies, which are known both in TCG and OCG, are based off the Greek mythological creatures known as the Harpies. These are human-shaped animals with wings, predominantly female in their appearance, and it is said that the gods sent the Harpies down to deal with anyone that they deemed evil and whisked them away into the skies. The Harpies themselves in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, OCG, and Rush Duel are given the appearance of beautiful women with bird-like appendages. They've been in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card games since their introduction under Bandai, with Bandai's version of Yu-Gi-Oh! It has stretched out between the TCG and OCG. Then when Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel began making its wave as the 7th installment of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, the Harpies also made their appearance in one of their mini packs throughout the series. They've also even adorned to one of their latest inclusions, being the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel Structure Deck, Harpie Lady Sisters. Yes, that's right. Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel gave Harpies a structure deck. Wow. We haven't gotten anything for them in like a couple of years here in the TCG. Thanks, guys. But to not, adorn the anger, but to be blissfully happy for the amount of things that we have gotten, the Harpies themselves have definitely taken a lot of their older content and definitely had it been added to Rush Duel. While in the same sense, they've also adorned some new monsters that I will be featuring here in today's Archetype video. So we're gonna actually go through with one of the most beautiful assets of the Harpies, and that's the one that started it all. Harpie Lady. She still retains the same level attack, defense, type, and attribute as she did in her original version. Harpie Lady herself is a beautiful animal with wings that is elegant. Well, if you let me read the card. Let me read the card text correctly. A human-shaped animal with wings, beautiful to watch but deadly in battle. That is the original text from the original Harpie Lady, in which, yes, her artwork is based off of, which is based off of her inclusion in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters Series Volume 2, the 13th chapter, known as the Siren. The Harpie Lady herself was definitely brought into Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel. And while Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel is not censored due to it not having any physical print in the TCG or OCG, it has physical print because of Rush Duel, but as far as their inclusion of having them in the TCG, there is no TCG variant of the Rush Duel series Harpie cards. However, if you do play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, there are Rush Duel cards there where Harpie Lady and many of the others are included. And she does have her jumpsuit like the Harpie Ladies do nowadays in the TCG variants. Now, to safely say this herself, Harpie Lady was introduced alongside the other variant of normal monster for the Harpie archetype, and that is Harpie Girl. So Harpie Girl, same stats as she does have in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG OCG, is pretty much inspires to foot out beautifully and gracefully, but attacks sharply. Both of these beautiful Harpies were still introduced into the series for Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel, and definitely were made and created to help at least bring the Harpies into the lineup. It wasn't until the Yu-Gi-Oh! Triple Deck Building Pack, Godwin's Breath, where we got introduced to a major wave of Harpie cards to support the archetype. And we're going to actually take a look at those, because Godwin's Breath definitely introduced a major wave of old Harpie cards to be brung in, but also endured a way of bringing in the newer support. Now, if many of you know in the TCG and OCG, the Harpie Ladies have a little bit of issue where you can't play 3 Harpie Lady 1s and a Harpie Lady in the deck because they were all treated as the same monster. However, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel, Harpie Ladies 1, 2, and 3 can all be included in the same deck as Harpie Lady. So there won't be any issues if you're creating your Harpie deck in Rush Duel and you need it to fit in, well, more monsters, especially with a lot of the utility and aspects that the Harpie cards have in the game. Because one of their major components is to swarm the field, just like they do in the TCG and OCG. Harpie Ladies 1, 2, and 3, which were all introduced in Godwing's Breath, were included to help boost up the amount of Harpie Ladies to be played. They are all treated as Harpie Lady while they are in the graveyard. So, if you're ever wondering about that, yes, the girls are able to be played in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, OCG as you know, who they are consecutively. Now, in addition to that, they can become Harpie Lady while they're on the field. Harpie Lady 1 is the only one to retain that, while Harpie Lady 2 and 3 have to send the top card of the deck to the graveyard in order to become Harpie Lady. But they gain additional abilities in addition to them sending their cards to the graveyard to become Harpie Lady. So what are those additional abilities? Well, Harpie Lady 1 and Harpie Lady 2, Harpie Lady 2 and Harpie Lady 3 are the ones that have new abilities that are different from their original counterparts. Harpie Lady 2 states that she, when battling, cannot be affected by your opponent's trap cards until the end of the battle. So she has a bit of an ancient gear effect to her. Harpie Lady 3 has a modified version of her original ability, where she can target any level 8 or lower monster your opponent controls, and that monster cannot attack until the end of your opponent's turn. While these seem like very mediocre effects, you also have to remember that a lot of their abilities had to be changed for Rush Duel playing, as there aren't any flip monsters in Rush Duel, and Harpie Lady 3 has a more of a targeting effect, that includes whatever she battles with in the TCG, but they changed it more so to whatever monster is on the field, so that she can deal with that monster, so that you can deal with that monster properly, or at least slow some things down. Now, while akin to this, these 3 Harpie Ladies definitely made sure that they made sure that these Harpies were able to be played. But let's also remember one thing. These Harpie Ladies are not alone in their original form. In Godwing's Breath, which was introduced, they also received their upgraded forms, known as the Harpie Lady Sisters. These 3, as you see in front of you, are the maximum monster version of the Harpie Lady Sisters, each of them sporting the same attack, defense level, type, and attribute, so that way, you know, they are simultaneously the same monster. So, Harpie Lady Sisters. We have Harpie Lady Sisters L and R on each respective side, which are upgraded variants of their original counterparts 2 and 3. Harpie Lady Sisters, which is the one in the middle, is able to be Harpie Lady Sisters while in the graveyard. Actually, all 3 of them hold their same ability. They also hold the ability of being Harpie Lady Sisters while on the field, so that does not clash with each other, and they also are still able to be played in the deck. Woohoo! Now, their own unique abilities are as follows. Harpie Ladies in the middle, when they're maximum summon, become 3400 attack. She can return the 2 winged beast monsters in your deck back and shuffle them into it, and then target 1 wind monster you control and give it 500 attack. If it's maximum mode, then you can inflict 500 points of damage. Harpie Ladies L. She is unaffected by your opponent's trap card effects, and when in maximum mode, she makes the monster level 10. Harpie Ladies R. While she's on the field, she's unaffected by your opponent's monster effects. And when in maximum mode, she makes sure that you're able to attack your opponent's three of your opponent's monsters. That's right. These monsters have various form abilities that are seemingly to be more upgrades to their original forms. except for Harpie Lady 3, because Harpie Lady R doesn't stop the monsters from attacking. She just multiplies them. She just gives you the ability to attack multiple times, which is actually still really good. The Harpie Ladies themselves are now adorning their cyber shields and even electro whips in hand, while also being able to stand alone as their own individual monsters. Major upgrades from the original Harpie Lady Sisters in the TCG OCG, which has to first be social summoned through Elegant Egotist and have no additional abilities. While this is also something great to be known, they're also the cover monsters of Godwing's Breath, in addition to two other archetypes that was introduced in that triple deck building set. Now, it wouldn't be a Harpie video if we didn't talk about their new fusion monster, Harpie Lady Sisters Triple Beauty. This monster is the cover art of the Harpie Lady cover card of the Harpie Lady Sisters structure deck for Rush Duels. Rush Duel structure deck Harpie Lady Sisters. This card is able to be fusion summoned through contact fusion. It requires one Harpie Lady Sisters and two wind attributed winged beast monsters for the fusion summon. This monster becomes Harpie Lady Sisters and is unaffected by your opponent's spell and trap cards, but you cannot use level 12 monsters for fusion material. So the Harpie Lady Sisters themselves have now combined forces to become a fusion monster and basically be immune to spells and trap cards. There is another upgraded form of the Harpie Lady Sisters. It's called Harpie Ladies 1, 2, and 3. While I don't have the actual card itself, I do have a picture of the actual monster, which is right here. Okay, sorry, I was supposed to have all of this together. My bad. So, this is the actual monster itself. This is Harpie Lady Sisters 1, 2, 3. She requires 3 Harpie Ladies for her fusion summon, and also can be contact fusion. But her name becomes Harpie Lady through her effect. It can make up to 3 attacks per turn and cannot attack directly. Face-up monsters that are face-up level 12 monsters on your side of the field cannot be used as fusion material for a fusion summon. So basically that whittles her out of being used as fusion material for Harpie Lady Sisters Triple Beauty and vice versa. Even though Harpie Lady Sisters Triple Beauty is technically not Harpie Lady, it's Harpie Lady Sisters, these two powerhouse monsters have the highest level and stats of any Harpie monster in the game. Well, base stats of any Harpie monster in the game. Harpie Ladies 1, 2, 3 is actually part of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel 5th Anniversary pack and was actually just recently released. In addition to that, both of these variants are of Harpie Lady Sisters, and Harpie Lady Sisters 1, 2, 3's artwork is actually inspired by the Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, which you should try checking out on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection. Now from there, we do have, of course, the fusion monster, Harpie Ladies 2 and 3. She requires Harpie Lady 2 in any level 4 or lower winged beast monster. She can also be contact fused, just like the others. In her effect reads, this monster's name becomes Harpie Lady, while on the field, this monster's name becomes Harpie Lady. Her other additional effect is that she can become she's unaffected when the monster is normal or social summoned. They are unaffected by your opponent's trap cards. Your opponent cannot activate trap cards when you normal or social summon a monster face up. So it's a level 8 wind attribute winged beast with 2600 attack, 1400 defense. So she carries the combined total attacks of Harpie Ladies 2 and 3. As well as a combined level. Just not a combined attack, unfortunately. But hey, it still pays off though, because these are 2 very high level monsters. This is a high level monster sporting the combination of 2 of the Harpie Ladies. So I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that in the next major Rush Duel set, we're probably going to see maybe a fusion combination of Harpie Lady 1 and 3, and maybe 2 and 3 to follow it up. And yeah, we have a big array of fusion monsters for the Harpies. We also have another fusion monster which takes inspiration from the game. This is Harpie Lady Feather Duster. She's a level 5 wind attribute winged beast type monster with 2100 attack and 1400 defense. She requires one level 4 Harpie monster. I'm sorry, Harpie Lady monster and one level 4 or lower winged beast monster. She can also be contact fused, and she states that you send top card of your deck to the graveyard, this monster becomes Harpie Lady. And if this card was special summoned the turn you activated this effect, you can target one spell attack card your opponent controls and destroys it. Her artwork is based off of Harpie Lady, who is equipped with Cyber Shield and has been using Harpie's Feather Duster in her as well. For remembering Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, when Mai and Yugi faced off, My Valentine used Harpie's Feather Duster to help sweep away Yugi's back row. First destroying Spellbinding Circle, and then again destroying Mirror Force, where the artwork of this card is inspired by. Next up, before we go any further, with all of these cards, which, yes, the 3 new fusion monsters are included in the structure deck, and the rest are actually reprinted as well in that set structure deck, while they also came from Yu-Gi-Oh! Godwin Breath. This is probably the biggest wave of the Harpie cards we have ever seen, not gonna lie. From there, we're gonna go into some of the older Harpie cards that were introduced between Godwin's Breath that were reprinted in the structure deck. We have, of course, the ever faithful servant of Harpie Lady, Harpie's pet dragon, still rocking the same stats as the original. Now, this monster's effect has actually changed, in which it includes the Harpie Lady Sisters. For every face-up Harpie Lady Sisters on the field, this monster gains 900 attack and defense, instead of just the occasional 3 in conjunction with the 300 attack and defense that it would normally gain for Harpie Lady being on the field. So a great inclusion to just change this up so that it includes the Harpie Lady Sisters. Following that is, of course, the iconic card Elegant Egotist. This card's effect reads if you have Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters, you can activate this ability where you can special summon up to 2 Harpie Lady and or Harpie Lady Sisters from your graveyard. But the turn you activate this effect, level 12 or lower monsters you control cannot attack. So this is basically just a safe way assumption of, yeah, get your Harpie Lady and Harpie Lady Sisters in the grave that have been sent to the graveyard through a backside battle and bring them onto the field. Next from there is Triangle Ecstasy Spark, the signature attack of the Harpie Lady Sisters. If you control Harpie Lady Sisters, you can activate this card's effect. Give up to 3 wind monsters you control 600 attack until the end of the turn. Also, your opponent cannot activate trap cards this turn. So, it is the iconic spell, which is the signature attack of the Sisters with added more detail, and allows you to attack with allows you to buff up the Harpie Lady Sisters. So, which already is funny enough because in this game they have 2100 attack. With the additional 600 boost, they're all going to be 2700, which is akin to the original Triangle Ecstasy Spark, where it gave 300, it made the Harpie Lady Sisters that you controlled on the field up to 2700, and then did the trap card negation as well. From there, we have one card that technically is, we have another Harpie staple card, and that is Hysteric Party. So this card's effect is, this card itself is entirely changed from its OTCG counterpart, where it is a normal spell, and it states that if your opponent draws cards or destroys one of your monsters by battle, you can activate this card by sending 1 card from your hand and then special summoning any 3 Harpie Lady Sisters, or Winged Beast fusion monsters from your graveyard to the field. Yes, this card became a reaction trap And not only that, it's now able to summon Harpie Lady Sisters and even the Wind Fusion monsters that you have as well, giving a major change up to the original iconic card from the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG OCG. Now, from there's one more additional card that we have to talk about, and it's probably one safe to say most people may remember, but may not remember. This is Harpie's Full Dress. Now, this card is an equip spell that can be equipped only to Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters. It gives 800 attack and 400 defense, and allows you to do piercing battle damage with that monster. Now, this card is a combination of the Cyber Shield and Rose Whip, two of the iconic, Electro Whip, the two iconic cards that are used in the manga for the Harpie Ladies, as well as the Bandai version of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. And also pays akin to the anime itself, where, remember, they switched Rose Whip for Electro Whip because they didn't want it to be deemed too sexual. They also toned down Cyber Shield because Cyber Shield did not stay purple when the Harpie Lady Sisters came to be. They were actually just individual monsters sporting gold Cyber Shields, which all of the Harpie Lady Sisters as cards are actually doing in the game. Then, in addition to that, the Electro Whip initially was an original card meant for female monsters, but because of its sexual nature, they changed it to be an equip spell for electric monsters, and then in the anime just replaced it with Rose Whip, which has never been printed. But yeah, it's an homage to many of those, as well as giving the defensive points, which the TCG version of Cyber Shield never did. Now that we've gone through all of the older variants of cards and some of their newer upgrades, I'm now going to go through all of the monsters that were in all the new spells, traps, and all the new monsters and spells. Monsters and traps are included because the only new spell that they got was the Cyber Shield. Next up, Harpie Regina and Harpie Kara. These two cards were included in Godwing's Breath. As some more new wave of support for the Harpie ladies, for the Harpie archetype. So Harpie Regina is a level 4 wind attribute winged beast monster with 1000 attack and 300 defense. Her ability states that if you control a Harpie monster or Harpie lady sisters, you are then able to hold on one second, because I should have her card here. Okay, here she goes. Harpie Regina is able to discard one card from your hand to... if you have another face-up Wingy Beast monster, you can send one card from your hand to the grave to draw one card. Then, if you have a face-up normal monster in your field, you can add one Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters from your graveyard to your hand. So, she's a recycler for your Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters if you have a normal monster on the field. Otherwise, she's just a discard engine draw one card monster. Her name, Regina, is Italian for the word queen. So, it's kind of safe to say we may not see a Harpie Queen reprint in the near future, but if they do, they're going to really have to explain the change up, because you're going to have two queens. Alright. Harpie Kara is the next monster up. She is the cute one over there, wearing the pink outfit. Harpie Kara is a level 2 wind attribute wingy beast type monster. She has 500 attack and defense, similar to that of Harpie Girl, who also shares the same attack defense level type and attribute as she does. Harpie Kara's ability is that when played, she can set one Harpie's Full Dress from your graveyard to your side of the field. Yes, she is the monster that is able to set Harpie's Full Dress onto the board. And while it doesn't seem like it's something major that really needed to be influenced, people have to also remember that the Harpie archetype does make its way to set up for for their combo game. And that's where Harpie Kara comes in. Now, in the structure deck Harpie Lady Sisters, Kara and Regina gain upgrades. And by upgrades, I mean they gain fusion monsters. Just like the others, they can be contact fused by using the required monsters needed for their fusion summon. First up is Harpie Regina Splendid Armor. She is a level 5 wind attribute winged beast type monster with 2100 attack and 1400 defense. She requires one Harpie Regina and one level 4 or lower winged beast type monster. They can be contact fused. During the main phase, you summon this card. You can change the battle position of one monster your opponent controls. Then, if you have Splendid Slash in your graveyard, you can target one defense position monster your opponent controls and destroy it. This monster is an upgraded version of Harpie Regina, who is, ironically enough, wearing the Harpie Splendid dress as her outfit. She can't be equipped with the card because she's not Harpie Lady, but it is nice to see that they did at least give her that upgrade. Next up to her is Harpie Kara in her charming dress. She requires Harpie Kara in one level 4 or lower winged beast monster and can be contact fused. You can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and then if you have a level 2 winged beast monster in your graveyard, you can target one of your opponent's monsters and it loses 1500 attack. She isn't the most, influential monster to be used, but she is technically a Harpie fusion monster, and she actually does extremely well in helping with the setup. The fact that she's also able to, manipulate the level conjunction, take advantage of the level conjunction, and even reuse to help decrease attack points, just makes her more viable for running over things if need be. Also, Harpie Kara shares a similar motif to the Harpie girl in her artwork, where in Harpie Kara charming dress, she's making a heart shape with her wings, kind of similar to how Harpie girl makes a heart shape with her wings. Alright, we have now gone over these Harpies, and now we can go into the next set of Harpies. We have Harpie CeeLo, and we have Harpie Lady Pet Master. Harpie CeeLo is a level 4 wind attribute winged beast type monster with 1000 attack and 300 defense. Her effect reads that when this card is normal or special summoned, you can return. I'm sorry, it's not normal or special summoned. You can return one winged beast monster that you have, one Harpie Lady Sisters, that you have to your hand. Then, you can send top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and if Harpie Lady or Sisters is among those cards sent to the grave, you can add one Harpie's Feather Tempest from your graveyard to your hand. Harpie's Feather Tempest, we talked about shortly. But yes, she is the next lineup of monsters that was added, and she also has a fusion variant as well. That monster is known as Harpie CeeLo sparkling dress? Light skirt. Which, hold on, I will show you in just a moment. There we go. So she is a level 5 wind attribute winged beast monster with 2100 attack and 1400 defense. She requires Harpie CeeLo and one level 4 or lower winged beast monster to be contact fused. During the main phase in which this card is fusion summoned, you can add up to 2 Harpie Lady Sisters in your graveyard to your hand. So she can recycle the Harpie Lady Sisters on her summon during the main phase and be able to recycle even more thanks to the original Harpie CeeLo's ability. Her name is Italian for the word sky, which is featured in both her fusion cards artwork and her artwork. Harpie Lady Pet Master is a level 4 winged beast who shares the same attack, defense, level, type, and attribute as the original Harpie Lady. She becomes Harpie Lady while she's in the graveyard, and you can send top card of your deck to the graveyard to make this monster's name become Harpie Lady while on the field or in the graveyard. While field. Once a turn, if you control 3 or more Harpie Lady and all Harpie Lady sisters, you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. She has the similar ability to that of Harpie's pet baby dragon from the OCG TCG, and she's also featuring the ever faithful servant in her artwork, similar to how Harpie Girl is featured in Harpie's pet Baby Dragon's artwork, and how Harpie Channeler is featured in the artwork of Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, all noting that they are the masters of the Faithful Servant. As well, she's the only low-level Harpie monster to also feature being wearing the Cyber Shield and Electro Whip combo of the Harpie's full dress. From there, we have 2 more Harpie monsters, which these 2 were introduced in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure deck Harpie Lady Sisters, Harpie Sonora and Harpie Belle. Harpie Belle shares the same attack, defense, level, type, and attribute as Harpie Girl. Her ability is that when she is summoned, you are able... During the turn, she is normal summoned. You just summon 1 level 2 Winged Beast type monster from your graveyard face up. If you summon a normal monster by this effect, you destroy 1 face down card your opponent controls. While I believe she doesn't have a fusion monster, don't quote me on that, Harpie Belle herself has the ability to special summon a Harpie monster from your graveyard, which is great because that would allow, even more plays with Harpie Kara, Harpie Girl, and being able to use them in their abilities. As well mentioned, she also has heart and pink wings and a pink headband, similar to Harpie Girl. Kind of similar in outfits too. Harpie Sonora. She's a level 4. She's a Winged Beast monster who shares the same attack, defense, level, type, and attribute as both Celio and Regina. Her ability is that when she is normal summoned, if you have 10 cards in your graveyard, 10 or more cards in your deck, which when you normal summon her, you can attach 2 cards in your deck to the grave. Then, if Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters is among them, you can simply just draw 1 card. Her name of Sonora is actually Italian for the word lady, and she's one of the few Harpie Ladies in the archetype to rock a dark red, as more so of maroon in her artwork. Then from there we have all the additional the last 2 additional cards for the Harpie archetype. That is Harpie's Feather Tempest and Splendid Slash. So Harpie's Feather Tempest is a normal trap card, and it states that if you have if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, if your opponent normal summons or special summons a monster, you shuffle 2 Harpie Lady and or Harpie Lady Sisters in your graveyard back into your deck. Then destroy the normal summon monster. If you shuffle back a normal monster into your deck to meet the requirements for this card, you can change the battle position of one of your opponent's monsters on the field. So if it's in attack position, put it into defense, and if it's in defense position, flip it to face up, put it in face up attack. This card is the second of the trap cards to feature Harpie's Feather in its name, and it's a really amazing card. This is the card that is referenced in the Harpie Silos effect. Splendid Slash is also a normal trap card, and it says when a monster or monsters on your side of the field is destroyed by an opponent's attack or card effect, you can target one Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters in your graveyard and put it either on the top or bottom of your deck. Then place 1 card your opponent controls to the bottom of the owner's deck. This card is in reference to the attack of Harpie Regina and features it in her artwork. So, that is all of the Harpie cards that are currently out. The only one that I'm missing is, of course, Harpie's Feather Duster, which did get printed in one of the tournament packs. And it is the only Harpie Legend card that exists in the game. simply is just the same as the TCG OCG. Destroy all cells and traps your opponent controls. And it actually carries over the artwork that was featured in some of the video games where it's swooping away the card instead of just dusting over the house of adhesive tape. But that is pretty much it for every card here in the Harpie archetype for the Yu-Gi-Oh! For the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel series. I do thank you guys so much for being here and watching this video. It's going to be very long, and God knows the upload is going to be a mess. But I do appreciate you guys watching it, and if there's any questions and stuff, you can leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, as it helps me out tremendously. You can hit the notification bell to be informed of when I upload more content. Socials are in the description box below. And with that said, thanks everyone for watching. HPJ signing out. Take care.